What's going on, y'all? It's the kid J Nolan here. Look, man, I've been seeing a lot of footage of Ice Spice all over social media, from my Twitter to my IG. I just seen somebody I personally know post up some performance footage of her performing at, I guess, like a lounge or something recently. And to be honest, it's very painstaking to actually watch. And instead of trying to criticize the young lady because she has a viral song, I mean, her career basically took off crazy within the last 60 days, really the last 30 days to be completely honest. I just want to say that it's time for her team to make some key investments into her if they want her to have any type of longevity. All right, now the big thing is that when you see her on stage, she doesn't have very much presence. You know what I'm saying? She puts herself together pretty well as far as presentation wise. I mean, she looks pretty decent, but she gets on stage and she's kind of stoic, trying to get through the words during the show, and then she just busts out and twerk, you know what I mean, and that's the only time the crowd really reacts to her, is while she's doing the twerk. She does that for 30 seconds, she goes back into rapping, and the crowd basically goes back into the dead zone. So I want to point out a few key things that I think she should pay attention to moving forward. I don't know if she's ever going to see this video. Hopefully she does, you know what I mean, because I'm not here to work against her. I'm here to actually provide information, and for any other artist that's watching this, you might want to take notes as well. For the first key thing that seems to be driving me crazy when I see her perform is that she really can't keep up with the music. Now, y'all know that New York drill, Bronx drill, like those tracks, they're pretty fast. A lot of them are in the upwards of 140, 150, even 160 beats per minute, you know what I mean, which puts you in a situation where it's in a double time type of situation. So you got to do the flow, and she's going, you thought it was really you, the niggas of mine, but you got to know how to pace yourself when you get on the mic and do that type of flow. Everybody can't do that. It's hard enough to do it in the studio. A lot of y'all be messing up your flows, can't even get through your songs. Take 6 hours to make one record because y'all keep fucking it up. Once you perfect it in the studio, you gotta go home with that music and practice that shit, man. You can't just be dropping songs and then you get booked for a show and now you don't know how to deliver it on stage. And it's not so much that she doesn't know the words, because she kind of does, but you could tell that the pace of the music is like flabbergasting her on stage, you know what I'm saying? So she takes breaks in between the lyrics, she does the twerk thing, she loses her breath on the twerk, then she goes back to rapping, and you know, it just sounds like really off kilter, you know what I mean? Plus the fact that she's performing over the actual song, you know what I mean, with the vocals still in it. And unless you're really experienced performer to where you can like really line your vocals up with the song to where it sounds like one smooth transition of like sound coming at you to where you can't even tell the difference between the artist and the song, most people can't duplicate their vocals to that degree, just to keep it a buck. But when you do that, you're now sending multiple different sound waves to the audience. So now I'm trying to pay attention to you saying it one way, and then I got to pay attention to the song and the beat coming at me another way, and the frequencies are basically clashing, and it makes you end up sounding like you don't know what you're doing. Now again, for an experienced performer, you could actually go out there with your regular track, perform exactly how it was performed in the studio, and nobody would tell the difference. There's really no point in doing that. If you're a good performer, you might as well mute the vocals because you're already delivering everything the same way. But that's just something that I would say, like the pacing of it is what's really throwing her off, because the beat and the track and the lyrics are coming so fast. The people in the crowd really don't even have an opportunity to like vibe with it, because again, the tempo of the song is so rapid. She needs somebody who could come in and like really get her on point. I don't know if she needs to hit a treadmill. I'm not saying treadmill because she's fat, because she definitely isn't, but like just getting into performance shape, getting the cardio in to where you're able to deliver that with no problems, and your diaphragm is not getting weak while you're in mid-performance. That's the whole point of saying that. Another thing that I'm noticing while she's on stage is that she's not commanding the crowd in any type of way. She's basically just coming on stage, expecting people to kind of like react to her because she's got one of the hottest songs on social media, and then going right into the performance. Like there's no interaction. What up, y'all? What's going on? Blah, 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 blah. You know what I mean? Get the people hyped. If y'all know the song, sing along. Like something to get people amped. Get them into your mode. I seen her come out during 5Yo Foreign set at Rolling Loud. You know what I mean? They were already into 5Yo Foreign, but by the time she got out there, they seen her, they reacted. And then once she started rapping, it was like they checked out completely. And again, this happens when you don't have a destination to take people. You know what I mean? When you come on a stage to do a show, normally you would introduce yourself, tell them about the song, do some conditioning. Yo, when I say you thought I was feeling you, y'all say that nigga's a munch. Like, of course, because the song is already popping, people kind of already know to fill that in. But there's nothing wrong with just taking an extra 15, 20, 30 seconds to go ahead and get that in their mind to be like, yo, I'm gonna give y'all my energy, but I can't perform to full capacity if y'all not giving it back. Like, get them in the mode. You know what I mean? It's just like coaching somebody on how to act on the field. Not to mention the fact, you know, she did walk around on the stage at the Rolling Loud, New York when she came out. You know, it was almost like a long runway, and she kind of had to like walk up to the stage and, you know, hit different checkpoints on the stage to make sure she was getting the song to everybody in the crowd. That was good. But I've seen other footage of her performing this record, and it kind of reminded me of what they were critiquing Summer Walker about. You know what I mean? Just like being very stoic on stage. Do you not like your own song? Like, you got to go out there and perform it like it's the favorite song of all time, like the song that when you went to prom you just turned up. But every song has to be like that. Now there's different ways of expressing that. Every song is not going to be a turn up song, but I'm just saying, like, when your music comes on, you should be reacting like it's hitting your soul. If nobody else in the room is reacting like that, it should at least be you. Similar to what I was talking about in the beginning with the pace of the song and everything, is vocal projection. You know what I mean? I think a lot of new artists struggle with vocal projection because we're so used to speaking from our voice. You know what I mean? So used to speaking from the neck. You know what I mean? We think that's where it comes from. That's why we clear our throat. However, when you get a little bit more seasoned, you start to understand that you're really coming from your chest and your stomach when you're rapping. You know what I mean? Especially when you're rapping and you're trying to get a point across. It's just like a preacher in a sermon at church. You know what I mean? I'm not talking about the ones who be I'm talking about a real great orator that's like getting you in the mode to like make a change in your life. Like, if you listen to somebody like, not even a preacher, if you listen to somebody like E.T. Eric Thomas, when he comes up and he's talking on his social media videos, he's speaking with that force. You hear that boom in his voice, and that's not coming from the neck. That's coming from the chest and stomach. As an artist, as a performer, you're not just supposed to be studying other artists. Like, study how the great orators and storytellers get their point across and figure out how to translate that into your musicianship. So when you get on stage, you command people's attention and you ain't got to do all type of dancing, waving, and east side stomping and doing all that type of shit, because your voice carries and cuts room. Niggas pay attention when you speak. Another thing that I would advise her team to do is equip her with some backup dancers. I know y'all don't got like no huge budget at this current time because she's a brand new artist, just now starting to get some money off of shows and stuff like that. But there's independent artists out here that have backup dancers. There's people that haven't made nearly as much as y'all have made in the last 6 weeks that have backup dancers. So y'all need to start doing open call or something, or, you know what I mean, hit up the cheerleading squad at the local whatever you got to do, man. Hit up a dance studio and be like, yo, this is what I'm building, this is what I'm trying to do. I can't pay y'all. Like, of course you can, because y'all getting money now. Y'all just drove up the price. That's what the internet was saying anyway. Like, y'all drove up the price recently. Pay some people to come out on stage and rock with her. This girl don't got but one song. She's getting booked. Give people a show. And it don't gotta be no crazy 1, 2, 3, 4, 8 count type of thing. Just had them on par with what's going on with the music. They bust into a twerk. They should be in sync. You know what I mean? 2 dancers plus Ice Spice. If they just bust that out and then she goes back into the song and they already have a routine that they can be doing while she's rapping the record, that gives people a little bit more energy to vibe with, to where she doesn't have to work as hard, because it's like, okay, we vibing with her, we vibing with the 2 chicks, they in alignment, so let me get in sync and give them energy so that they could carry this thing forward, right? It's not that hard, but it ain't that easy. You gotta actually put energy and dedication towards it. Now, I'm sure there's people watching this video that are like, hey man, you out here critiquing this girl's performance, but what about all the male rappers that just get on stage and mosh pit and jump around and jump into the crowd and crowd surf and all of this type of stuff? All right, yeah, you got a great point. However, if she wants to have longevity in the game, she can't do a lot of the same things. The women are held to a different standard. It's just what it is. I'm trying to give information that's going to help her sustain despite the double standard, right? So she could do the same thing. If she wants to go out and do the crowd surfing thing, that's cool. But you already know a woman jumping out into that crowd, they gonna be trying to feel on her booty. They gonna be trying to grab on her all type of ways. It's gonna get very disrespectful very fast. So in order to alleviate having to go through that and being objectified in that excessive of a manner, and you want to stay up on stage, you're gonna actually have to rock the fucking mic. Don't come to me in the comments talking about, oh man, this is very sexist, this is that and the third. No, it's not. This is how you're gonna have a career. If you want to be around 5-10 years from now, show me an artist that can't get up on the stage 5-10 years after they came out and rock a show, and I tell you somebody who's probably not making that much money. Now my whole objective here was not to make a long drawn out dissertation or anything like that, but just to give a few tips. And like I said, for any of you artists that might be watching right now, I hope you're taking notes. Y'all are probably performing at open mics, showcases. You might be getting your first festival appearances on a local level. You might even be going to different surrounding cities and states. I'ma just tell y'all, man, a little bit of the information that I'm giving y'all, if y'all just start putting some of that into your build up or into the days before you actually perform and just start working on these types of things, you'll see that your performance skills elevate tenfold. And as you continue to learn about yourself as a performer, you're going to keep adding more skills to your repertoire. Next thing you know, you might find yourself in a headlining position. You might find yourself at a Lollapalooza, Rolling Loud, A3C, South by Southwest. Because at the end of the day, my channel is really supposed to be a resource for artists coming up. And I do talk about other subjects, you know what I mean? That's just to keep a variety of things going on and bring in different audiences and try to be as broad as possible in the music spectrum. But make no mistake, this channel was created to give you guys information and resources to do better. If I'm not doing that, I'm not doing my job. At this point, it's time for me to sign out. Y'all let me know what y'all think down below in the comments. If you are a performance coach, go ahead and comment down below. Let the people know what it is, because the world needs you guys. If y'all want to come to me for direct advice, please know that you can. Hit the link down below in my description, realjnolan.com. You could book a consultation with me. You could get my books coaching artists on how to develop themselves and increase their monthly earnings, yearly earnings from music without playlists, without all of the riffraff that y'all be going through, paying all these clowns to do nothing for you. I'm not with none of that. You feel me? And I'm a full-time artist, full-time songwriter, and lately I do YouTube as well. So you're going to be getting information from somebody who makes their living surrounded by music and the ancillary things around it. Like I said, man, hit realjnolan.com. Come rock with me. You'll see all my accolades on there. Much love and respect, y'all. And if this is your first time seeing one of my videos, be sure to hit that subscribe button, hit the notification bell to get all updates, and I'll see you guys on the next one. All right? Peace.